In our previous recording on Vayetzeh, we brought down the wild midrash quoted by the Rosh, as well as the Hadar Zakenim and the Bali Atosfot, that who were the angels that were climbing up Yaakov's ladders? It was the evil Nephilim in the story of Bereshit, those evil fallen angels that lit all that terrible stuff, the Hamas of the rape and the pillaging, and ultimately they're going to do some form of a teshuvah and climb up Yaakov's ladders to get up to the Shamayim. Now, just closing that section, I want to bring down one more tradition that's found in the Midrashim that actually points to different angels. And this is in the Hadar Zakenim, in the Bali Tosfot. This is now his second approach that he gives to who were those angels who climbed up the ladder. And he actually says it was the angels who had gone to destroy the city of Sedom. In our previous recording, we actually mentioned the Targum Yonatan says something similar, that the angels of Sedom had revealed secrets of Hashem, secrets of Adon Olam that were too great to reveal. And because of that, they were kicked out of the mechitzot of God. They were kicked out of the curtains up in the Shamayim, and Hashem made them wander the earth for a couple of years. They bring that 100 and something years. They were down there wandering around until finally Yaakov Zechut can bring them up on the ladder. And we listen to our previous two recordings where we speak a little bit about the Zechut of Yaakov and what is Sulam, what his ladder is all about. Now, before we get into this next approach to the angels of Sedom, so I first want to connect Sedom a little bit more to our whole discussion of the Nephilim. We mentioned the Nephilim are these evil people who were very much involved in Zenut, and according to these mystical traditions, their shorish, their root can be found in other peoples. We can find them maybe in Mitzrayim. We can find them maybe amongst the Plishtim. We can maybe find them amongst the Ishmael, and we can also find them by Sedom, because we know Sedom also was this evil city that was known for their znut. They also were known for their sexual immorality. So Yisrael brought down that a little bit of the koach of the Nephilim can be seen in them in there as well. And I actually want to hear a very cool idea that I heard this year from this week actually from Rabbi Khan that actually relates a little bit to the current situation here in Eretz Yisrael. So if we go back to Sedom, the Melech of Sedom, we go back to the original war of the 4 kings and the 5 kings that we've spoken about, and the evil 4 kings came and they attacked the 5 kings. The 5 kings tried to rebel, and the 5 kings, the 4 kings squashed the rebellion. And one of the 5 kings was Sedom. So even though the 4 kings were really evil, the 5 kings weren't so great either. And one of those kings was Melech, Sedom, and Amorah. And the Melech Sedom loses. And from the Pasuk in the Torah, it sounds like he's trying to escape. He's trying to run away. And says the Pasuk as follows, says the Torah, Emek HaSidim, the area of Sidim, the valley of Sidim, Be'erot Chemar. It was wells and wells of clay. Vayanusu Melech Sedom v'Amorah, and Melech Sedom v'Amorah ran away to these wells. Vayipelu Shama, and he falls in there. Notice the word Vayipelu and its relationship to the Nephilim. And this evil king of Sedom is Nofel, Vayipelu, and they fall into these wells. Vanisharim Harnasu, and the other ones that remained, the other fugitives, the other refugees, they ran away to the mountain area. Okay. What is this? What is the word? So what does it literally mean, this pasuk? That there are like wells, and they run away and they try to escape into these wells and they fall, they're nephilim into these wells like the Vayipalu. What does that mean? So if you open up the Chizkuni, you open up the Hadar Zakenim and the Bali Tosfot on this pasuk as well, and you find it actually in a lot of the school of the Tosafot, you find it in the Panach Vaza as well, they all say a similar idea, that the area, the ground over there, was made of teat. It was made of like this clay, this like soft soil that they would dig out, and they would use that then to eventually create bricks and create buildings and all that stuff. But they would empty out this area, and they made tunnels. And these be'erot should be read tunnels in the soft sand, and that's where this evil Melech Sedom is Nofel. He tries to escape into those tunnels, but ultimately he's going to fall. He's going to fall into these tunnels, and then that's when eventually they're going to be caught, taken captive until Avram's going to save him, B'zchut Lot. But we have this concept of these tunnels and these Nephilim, which is very timely to what's going on in today's times. But let's go back to our Midrash. So our Midrash, if we go back to the Dat Zakenim of the Hadar Zakenim of the Bali Tosfot, so he writes, Od Yesh Lomar in our parasha, who were the angels that climbed up Yaakov's ladders that made it back? She'otam melachim hayu otam shalchu lafoch Sedom. It was the same angels who went to go destroy Sedom, but they messed up. Where did they mess up? Shamru, ki mashchitim anachnu, because they said, we are the ones that are going to destroy it. Anachnu. Since they said we're the ones that are destroying the city of Sedom, and they didn't say that it was God, they were kicked out of God's mechitza, outside of God's curtain, for 138 years. And now with the zechut of Yaakov Avinu and his tefillot and his sulam and his dream, they're able to make it back up into the Shamayim. So a different tradition that here, those angels were known to be good angels, but they had messed up by taking a little bit too much of the kavod to themselves, so they had a little bit of a galut until eventually now with Yaakov's ladder, they can make it back up. Shabbat Shalom.